right, we're going to do another week of the vlog. So last week we were able to show a few of the processes. Didn't really get to talk about that much. Kind of ran out of time, so we're going to do it again this week. Try to hit some other processes. Hope you guys enjoy following along. We appreciate you. Our blades, when we grind them on our CNC out there, and they have some, they're not really imperfections, they're just lines that for whatever reason look a little deeper and want to show through when we try to do our blasted and tumble, our atomic finish. So I just bring them in here on the grinder, and with a higher grit belt I just hit them lightly, and that basically gets rid of those lines that would kind of show through, evens everything out, and now they're ready to move on and start getting blasted and tumbled. Alright, so one thing we got going on in the shop is this week that's out of the ordinary and a little exciting. So we've had heating and cooling in the shop the whole time, but we're running off that. You see that behind me? That's a mini split. It's a pretty big one. It's like an industrial size mini split. We've had two of those in there, and then we got like one little window unit up front and a window unit in the office. But with all these machines in here, they put off a lot of heat, and we're down here in Alabama. It's been hot, and when it's up in the high 90s down here with high humidity, it gets roasting in here. It just is what it is. So the air we have is really not sufficient to cool this place. We have really high vaulted ceilings, as you can probably see. So it's a lot of space to heat and cool. So this week, see back here behind me, these guys are up here. We're installing a central heat and air unit this week. So it said by the end of the day today, we should have cool air blowing in here. So that is fantastic. The guys have been kind of sweating it up in here the last couple of weeks. It's been so hot here. So staying a little cooler, a little more comfortable should help us to work a little more efficiently, hopefully, and we'll definitely be more comfortable. So hopefully another day or two and that'll be done, and we'll be rocking and rolling. Ductwork up over the trusses there underneath the fans, so the fans will help push all that air down and run it into our individual rooms here, like the grinding room, which is one of the most important ones, because it gets hot in there in the summer because it doesn't have any current air in there right now. It's just closed off from the rest of the shop. So it'll be a huge improvement for us. Big quality of life improvement. Here is one of our super important processes. This is our blade grinding. We're doing it on the CNC machine. So this is a new process for us. We've just started doing this in-house within the last couple of months or so. This is basically a method that to my knowledge, was kind of come up with and revolutionized by Chris Reeves knives. They still use this method or similar method. I'm sure they've got it more refined than we do at this point. But yeah, so we're actually grinding the blades on our machine here, and we're getting a hollow grind, which is awesome. I really like the way the plunges are coming out. The grinds are looking really good. So all the Dixon that you guys have seen coming out have had this grinding method on it, and I'm really liking it so far. So that's where this happens. It's hard to see a whole lot of what's going on in there. Maybe I can do a more detailed video later, but it's pretty cool. Alright, so what Ty is doing is taking these blades, hitting them on a Scotch-Brite wheel, and softening the edges of them up. So along the spine and stuff especially. Don't want any sharp edges except the one that's supposed to be sharp. Alright, so what Trey's doing here is, this is our lock fitting fixture. So he's just ground the lock a little bit more, checking it to see if it's the lock up's where he wants it to be. And if it's not, takes it back apart, and back on the fixture. Take a little bit more off. It's kind of tedious, but it lets us dial them in where we want them. All right, we are headed back from town for lunch. We went local pizza place, picked up pizzas for the guys. So we're gonna go back and have a little feast. This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about, guys, when I talk about how building the stuff here makes a difference, because we're out here supporting other local businesses to feed our guys that are, you know, working in our local business. So it matters, guys. All right, so this is Friday morning. I think I mentioned on last week's video, most of the guys, the production crew works 4/10, so they work Monday through Thursday. So they're not here today. So I'm out here getting machines going. I've got all 3 machines running right now. This one's cutting the tabs off on some Dixon handles, and this one is grinding Dixon blades, and this one is making Dixon clips. Show you guys real quick on the, speaking of the clips. So when the clips are done, this is what we end up with. You can kind of tell from the video there, so they're still attached by little tabs inside the sheet, and the guys will punch those out of there, and then they do all the handwork on them. They clean up the edges of them and deburr them and all that good stuff, and then bend them, and then the finishing stuff. So I mentioned that stuff last week, and I never got to show you the finished product. So that's what it is. It's pretty cool. We do them basically in a whole sheet. So we do one side of it, flip it over, do the other side, a whole sheet at a time, which works out pretty good, but the programs are really long. So that's one of the reasons I'm out here running them today. Try to run those like on nights and weekends and stuff, when the machine can just run unattended and run for several hours at a time. So that's the deal on that. Luke is here today. He's up there. He does the shipping department and all the laser work and stuff, so he's up there doing that today. And yeah, a few pups in the house. I don't know if you can see Abby back there, but that's Luke's. Anyway, So it was a pretty good week in the shop. Once again, I didn't get to dive into as much detail as I'd like on some stuff, so we're going to try to keep this train rolling and try to keep doing some of this every week, and maybe I can eventually kind of get all these processes documented and show you guys. But hope you're enjoying it. If you are, please leave a comment, a like, and appreciate it if you subscribe so that you can stay up to date when we do drop something new. We really appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next week.